Hey folks, how's it going? I hope you're well. I'm Duncan, this is channel DunksterBricks, and welcome to this review of, it's a non-Lego set. It is the LESDIY Union Pacific Big Boy. So this is a mock. It's designed by a mock designer called MorningStrummer, and LESDIY basically have produced a set that goes with the mock. Now usually if you do a mock like this and it's a very big complicated engine, possibly one of the most complicated and the biggest engine of its type. So usually you'd go to Bricklink and you'd piece together everything and you'd get the parts and then you'd put it all together, and it's a very lengthy process. I built a small, I think it's a German BR80 small locomotive, and that took a lot of work and it cost quite a lot of money to piece together through Bricklink, but it's all genuine Lego parts, whereas this is not. This is ABS plastic bricks that come out of China. So, but it comes as a set. I say that this was a bit of a process to go through before I got it built. So I got it kind of like middle of May, started building on, I think it was the 24th of May, started building it, putting it together, and I did start a video then, filmed an intro, filmed the unboxing and stuff like that, which the unboxing is here, and got to a point where I was going through the first parts of the instruction. The instructions are provided on a USB stick, so it's all a PDF, pretty good instructions for the most part, but I got just a little way into building the tender and realized there was a missing piece, and it was quite a large missing piece. It was a I think it was a 10 by 8, 10 by 6. It was a plate anyway that I was missing. Large piece. There isn't a second one in the set. There aren't. So I had to contact LESDIY to get that piece replaced or sent out so that I could keep building. So anyway, I'd taken everything out and sort of like sorted out all the different pieces into different things. I was using a bunch of these, some drawers, a couple of those stacks plus some extra drawers just to make sure I'd parted everything out. And a few days later I started on the engine because I thought, okay, I can't build the tender yet, so I'll start on the locomotive. So I started doing that, got a certain way in, got quite far actually. Structurally I could make everything, and it was, I actually got it running. So there it is running backwards and forwards on the track, and it's pretty good. It's all working. I then ran out of pieces again, or at least I found that I was missing pieces that really, it would certainly help to have pieces. So then I got in touch with LESDIY again, got those pieces ordered up and everything, which they're very, very helpful, very, very helpful with trying to get the pieces all together. But of course then I had to wait until I got those pieces. So it's taken, it took sort of about a month and a half from starting the build to the end of the build. Bear in mind, right, I have not paid for this set at all. They sent me this to review. So this is I'm going to do a pretty honest review. I'm not going to be too negative. I'm just going to tell you what happened and everything like that. This isn't a Lego set, so it's a small company, I'm guessing, but they're, yeah, this is, I'll put it this is an opportunity. If you like mocks and you like, trains that are slightly more realistic than the Lego City trains. I love the Lego City trains. I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite happy with that level of detail. But if you want something a bit more challenging and a bit more realistic looking, then maybe this is a possibility for you. But like I said, there are some pieces that were, even by the end of it, I found that I was missing some pieces. So some of them were sort of pieces that I could miss out, but I did end up having to use one piece of Lego, genuine Lego, that I needed to do it, because otherwise I would have had to contact LESDIY again and then wait 2 to 3 weeks for the parts to come up. So I just couldn't do it anymore. But I finished it almost. There are parts missing. So I'll point it out, like on the top of the tender there should be a soft sort of like tube. These soft tubes, I think they were sort of like hose pipes, or yeah, hose pipes in, well, pneumatic tubes, I think, possibly is the best way to put it. Pneumatic tubing, sort of like the rubber tubing that came in those pneumatic sets way back in Technic stuff in the, what is it, late 80s, early 90s, that sort of thing. That's missing. They don't produce those. So some of the parts aren't actually, yeah, aren't even produced by this company in China that produces the bits, but it's tiny things like that. But you can replace them with sort of like go to Bricklink, find the part, order it up, and then get those actual bits. But anyway, to the model itself, after saying all of that, if you've got this far, then you're probably still interested in the set. So it's made of 3,200 pieces, at least that's what the set does. I got a few extra pieces, which is quite significant. That's the extra pieces that I've got. I'm not sure how I've got so many extra pieces. Initially, the set came in this box, which is what the unboxing shows you. But they did send on this, which is the box that I'm guessing they're going to be sending the sets out in. So it's a bit of a nicer box art. I also got two sort of like infrared controllers. It is based on Lego Power Functions, but it's not actually Lego Power Functions that's in there. But anyway, this is the set. It is very detailed. It is very complex. You've got two, essentially, forgive me if I'm not using the correct terminology for the actual locomotive stuff. I'm not a locomotive person, believe it or not. I'm a train person, I'm a railway person, I'm a track setup person, but I'm not a steam locomotive person, as in expert. But anyway, the two sort of drive trains, there's one here and another one here. These are two separate and they're articulated. This is it's a very, very large engine that worked sort of freight. And I can say different parts of the United States when it was actually running, because I know they moved them around for different periods of the locomotive's lifespan. But you can look it up online for any details. But yeah, there's a motor in each of these sort of drive train kind of sections. They are sort of, I think they're large motors. They're not the extra large motors. They would be Power Functions large motors, but these are not Power Functions. These are not Lego ones. These are Power Function compatible, let's call it that. And they drive the train. So as you saw in a clip earlier, without the tender, the locomotive works quite well. With the tender and with the extra weight of the completed build, it is pretty heavy. It does still work and it does still run on the track, as you can see, but doesn't run on my layout. Firstly, I don't have a complete layout at the moment, but secondly, it wouldn't fit through the station and everything like that. So this is a very, very big model. Secondly, the techniques used in this model wouldn't necessarily meet Lego's quality assurance. So they're very fiddly, but this is a mock locomotive to look more realistic. And in order to do that, mock makers use techniques that wouldn't usually be used in Lego sets. Yeah, so that's how it is. I found it very complex. Some of the parts, some of it was frustrating, I've got to say, kind of annoying. You're putting something together and sometimes you can put it together and maybe it doesn't clip in or anything like that. So it is a bit of a learning curve. So if you are going to get this set, be prepared for that. It is a very complex set, especially the drivetrain stuff and just the decorative stuff around the side and everything. I found it, yeah, you can put it together. I can even see a bit now that's just come off. It's not quite stuck in, but yeah, there's bits already falling off. So even once you've built it, it will need a lot of maintenance to keep together. I don't think that would be any different with a Lego mock if it was made out of Lego bricks. I didn't have any problems with the clutch power of the bricks. Some cases where techniques that aren't sort of normal are used, where you've got sort of Technic pins going into the underside clutch of a plate or something like that, then there's possibly the clutch power just isn't great there. But I found that's a thing with mocks. I think they're very delicate and they're models rather than, they're not a Lego City train, which is essentially is a toy, just a very fun toy, and it can stand up to a bit more. It can stand up to being moved around basically. The Union Pacific Big Boy, I wouldn't I wouldn't move it around much. Personally, I think it does run, but it is more of a display model, and if you're going to run it, then run it in certain circumstances. Yeah. So the links to the website of LESDIY are down below. LESDIY.com gives you the price in dollars. LESDIY.eu gives you the price in euros. At the moment, at the time of filming, it is on sale, so it's like $219.99, I think. But that's, I'm not going to say go and buy this because it's an amazing sort of engine, and I'm not going to say don't buy it, because I think the way these sorts of mock engines, especially this one, which is probably the biggest and one of the most complex, is it will appeal to a certain builder, a certain type of builder. Me personally, I like engines that are really going to run and I don't have to fiddle about with them too much. It's all about sort of making entertaining videos and getting it running on a cool track layout. This wouldn't run up hills or slopes that I build, but it does look good on a shelf, and it does actually run, although possibly it would do better with proper Lego power functions in it, just to give it a bit of a boost of power. And it will need a lot of maintenance, especially the drives and everything. I'm already hearing clicking and stuff from the actual chassis where the drive trains are, so there'll be sort of, yeah, it all needs maintenance. And of course there were the delays with the parts and everything like that. So anyway, that is the Union Pacific Big Boy from LESDIY. It's a very big, complex set, 3,200 pieces. They are very helpful when trying to get the pieces if there are any missing pieces in the set. I found it, I mean, I started my old video. I started the video, intended to do a time-lapse video of it, build it, run it, do the video. I thought it was going to be fine. It would have taken a few days to get it done, just because I would have had to do, I did evenings and sort of like some nights and everything like that, just to try and get it finished. It all ended up being a bit sort of, it took a long, it had to be built over a period of time just because I was waiting for parts. So anyway, there you go. But yeah, it may appeal to some people. That's my review of it. I can't really, I'm not going to say it was positive or negative or anything. It just is what it is. It's a really good kit. It's a really detailed kit. Some of the bit, especially in the cab, I tried to get the firebox sort of like, there's a bit inside the cab that's a firebox thing, and I couldn't follow the instructions on that bit. I had to sort of wedge it in, and it's not quite, I don't think it's the way the instructions give it, but I couldn't get the way the instructions said to fit it to work. So I've done that. And yes, it is fiddly and it does fall apart, mainly because it's just a different sort of technique. It's yeah, I think it just goes with the territory of some of the more complex decorative way of making a steam locomotive look like a steam locomotive in this case. But yeah, I'm not going to fault it for that. It just is what it is, really. That's what it is. So anyway, that is the Union Pacific Big Boy, produced by LESDIY. It was designed by MorningStrummer. It is a really impressive kit. Building it, you learn loads about different building techniques, and of course it's not Lego, so if you were to piece this together with Bricklink and proper Lego pieces, it would cost a lot of money, I think. You can get it through LESDIY, and they are good at getting all the parts and everything if there are any missing pieces. And you get, well, I got a bunch of extra parts as well. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that, but there you go. Union Pacific Big Boy by LESDIY. That is my overview and review of the set. Wow, yeah, that's probably all I'm going to say about it now, but there you go. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you can like and subscribe. If you found it useful, yeah, like and subscribe. And there you go. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.